Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I'm happy to introduce my new series of videos called Creative Real Estate Ownership with Josh Silverman. My name is Josh Silverman. I work as a real estate agent here in Berkeley, California at CREO Real Estate. And I've been an agent for about 14 years and a real estate investor for over 19 years. And really excited to explore this topic and over a series of weekly videos. And the reason for this series is largely has to do with being in a very expensive real estate market in a region of the country that is very unaffordable for many. And so I'm going to be attacking this topic from a number of different angles. And I wanted to share an article I read. It was on December 12th of last year, 2024. Appeared in the New York Times, written by Benjamin Applebaum and Adam Westbrook, entitled "Bad News Democrats, America is About to Get Even Redder." This article really explores kind of the movement of political capital from one region of the country to another. I'm not really exploring that here as it relates to real estate, but I wanted to get into it really brought out something that points to the problem here in these like expensive regions. So one thing they said, in general, obviously people move from state to state every year. In 2023, 7 million people in the country moved from one state to another. So it's very common. But what's happening is you're getting tons of people, millions of people, moving out of California, Illinois, Massachusetts, Washington, New York, and other blue states to go to red states like Georgia, Texas, Arizona, Florida, and North Carolina. The writers explore there are various reasons that they're moving. There's manufacturing opportunities, tech hubs, but what they write is that the people who are moving are, quote, mainly teachers, police officers, and dentists that just want a more affordable quality of life, end quote. And they go on to say, over the last 20 years, 9 million more people left blue states for red than in the other direction. And that really shocked me. That kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I was thinking, God, why are folks leaving these blue states? I'm a California native. I love this state. I love this region. The Bay Area is amazing. I love being close to the ocean and the mountains and all the culture and all the diversity that Northern California offers. And it's just it's a rich place to live and be, and it's super expensive. So that's why people are leaving. It's largely has to do with cost. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, well, in Berkeley, in order to buy a 3-bedroom house, you're kind of looking at, based on the part of Berkeley you're in, let's just call it like a $1.6 million house for a decent house in a nice neighborhood, right? So you're at 1.6 million, so you're thinking, okay, well, what do I need? I need 20% down, $320,000. And it's gonna cost $10,000 a month to own that house. So if you want your housing expense not to exceed 33% of your total income, you're looking at needing about $30,000 a month in gross salary and $400,000 a year in pay. That's a lot of money. Not everybody has that. So in 2022 in Alameda County, the county we're in, the median household income was $122,000 a year. And I imagine it's only ticked up a little bit since then, maybe even down. That's a big gap, right, in terms of kind of what the median homeowner can afford and what's required to live in this particular town. Folks are leaving, right? So why creative real estate ownership? Again, because it's so expensive. And I love the phrase, necessity is the mother of invention. So in thinking about how to keep people here, because I don't want you to leave, you have to think creatively. There's tons of different avenues you can take to kind of circumvent those really high prices. We all kind of want to be in that safe 3-bedroom single family home, but that's not necessarily the path that's readily available, right, to say the least. So the solution in many ways is more housing needs to be built at all income levels. And that's the long-term plan for sure. And you'll hear about that over and over again, stated by politicians and different leaders, and that's the way we need to build out of this, which is true in many ways. But it's going to take a long time for those homes to materialize. And so in the meantime, we have creative real estate ownership, right? And so I've structured the series around three primary themes, right? So one, the first and kind of most important one is how to enter this market creatively. So I'm going to kind of explore all the different ways one can get in without having to buy that $1.6 million house out of the gate. Number two, if you already own in this market, how to stay here creatively. So your life changes, your income level changes. It's still expensive even after you've bought, right? So how do you build value and get prepared for the next chapter of your life, right? Three, who are the people and companies working every day in the Bay Area to serve people that are interested in creative real estate ownership, right? So there's all these people around us here that care about this topic, right? That want to keep folks here, that want to have teachers stay in town, right? And so I'm going to talk to them. So again, a little deeper look at those three themes. Back to number one, how to get into the market. I'm going to explore things like co-ownership, buying properties with friends, partners, multiple partners or colleagues. One video I did was I spoke to a good friend of mine who's a therapist, and we talked about all the things that come up in a romantic partnership as it relates to buying a home together. And so that's a form of co-ownership, right? That's a partnership. And so how to think strategically, creatively with people to buy property together, because I've always had to buy property together with other people. Things like buying a multi-unit property. I did a video called Start Smart, Why Buying a Fourplex is the Perfect First Home. So my first property is a triplex, so I'm going to talk a lot about multi-unit and how that's a way to kind of get into the market. I'm also going to share some just general investing strategies that you may be in a situation where you're like, you know what, I want to invest in real estate, but I don't necessarily want to live in it. So I'm going to share some ideas around owning property as just an investment vehicle. I also do that. That's kind of that first theme. The second, again, how to stay in the market creatively. I'm going to explore ideas like adding a unit to your house, adding an ADU in the backyard, either a standalone unit or a unit in your basement or whatever to create additional income. I love ADUs, so I'm going to explore that topic a lot. Things like renovate, sell, and downsize. So, exploring ways that you can use your house, you can maximize value out of it, sell it, and move into something that works better for you. So that's always an option. Let's say you want to stay in your neighborhood and you don't want to leave, and you don't, but you can't, it's hard to maneuver maybe in your house, or it's just too much space to take care of. You can build, in Berkeley, you can build an ADU in your backyard, and you actually can turn it into a condo, and you can sell your primary house and now live in your backyard in this smaller house that works for you at that stage of your life. So that's something, to creatively stay on your property, right? There's things like lot splits that I'll explore. So you can split your lot and maybe sell that off, or build another property and make some money that way. So different options there. And I'm going to just talk to a lot of folks who have done this. And so I'm looking forward to these great interviews, and, folks that, who have done this successfully love talking about it. And, I've done this successfully. I love talking about it. And so we're going to talk to some folks. And again, back to number three, that third theme. So who are the companies and people, and who are the people kind of behind the scenes that are serving this niche, that want to provide options for folks in this space, right? I talk to so many people who really do care deeply about this. So I'm going to talk to ADU builders. I'm going to share some articles or books that I've read, and I'm going to talk to some local government folks and look at policy around housing and development. There's different grant programs that are available, and there's all kind of cool stuff that's happening. And so I want to talk to those folks, and so I'll be doing that. So again, the ideal, situation for a lot of buyers is to, hey, we've worked really hard, we've saved some money, we have a good job, we want to have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a nice area, and they look up and they're like, whoa, that is not possible right now. That's just too expensive. And so there's this creativity required, right? And so I don't think about this creativity as being necessarily like, oh, I'm doing it because it's just so interesting and fun. I'm doing it because it's required, right? It's required by my clients. It was required by me. Also, I do think it's interesting and fun. I think there's so many different ways to think about housing and different benefits and different structures that you may not have thought about that actually work better for you than maybe even that 3-2 in that perfect neighborhood, right? So I'm going to explore these topics. I hope you're going to enjoy exploring them with me, and I look forward to this process. And so please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and remember, buy, build, and manage with love, and the rest will work out. Thank you so much for viewing, and here we go.